Clapperino clap.
Boom. So we got a 10-second mark till. It's pretty much been 10 seconds. I've been watching how we do it. It's like a 10-second technique. We'll just speak jibber jabber for 10 seconds.
I highly suggest you watch this while on the computer. We will have it on iTunes pretty soon. Don't hose us about it.
Yeah. We gotta get that out. And welcome back to the Calvin TJ podcast, where every Sunday we talk about some shit. Before we start our podcast, we'd like to open it with our sponsor, Tuna Crate. Tuna Crate is a monthly subscription box service where they send you things.
They got nice memes in this box.
They send you
choose
memes.
your tier of how many memes you want in your meme box. But this is the meme box. I don't know which tier this is, but it looks nice.
This is the top tier. So they send you things of different. They're like different. Every month is a different like theme, whether it be like domestic or import or things. I do YouTuber boxes. So good stuff. The link will be in the description down below. Also,
this month is Fast and the Memeiest.
I like that meme. That was a nice meme, Cal. Also want to shout out Movement Watches. If you're not already rocking your own Movement watch, they are cheap, affordable, but good quality watches that a lot of our friends wear, and we all wear ourselves. You can use this code right here and save yourself 10%. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Today's topic is a good topic, and I just thought of it before we started shooting. And Cal, why don't you introduce it, and we can start rolling with it.
So today's topic is what's a good first car? Depending upon you want, we're going to talk about like front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, if you're into that kind of thing.
I see this comment so much, and every time I'm like, it's such a hard thing to answer because everyone's like, okay,
oh my God,
what's my first car? Well, number one, what the hell's your budget? I mean, what's your first car? Look at a Lamborghini as your first car.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so
yeah. What's your
let's
budget?
think about how to break this down. So we could do like price range, and then like, let's be realistic. Let's say you're 16 to 18.
And you're trying to save up for your first car.
Oh, God. My thing is so much bunker than yours. Okay, I got it.
It's all right, dude. Okay, so low budget.
Want to do under 10K? That could be kind of high for some, but
high. Low, but we're talking about low budget.
Under 5.
Under 5, 6 maybe.
Okay.
So the Miata is one. That's a great one. We got ours for $2,000. Mm-hmm. You could probably find one even cheaper than that. You could also go with a Civic.
Okay, well, before you even jump into that, let me even break it down even more because
Really?
I still think there's more to it. Okay, so I think step one, find your price range. Let's say you're going 5 to 6. Okay, so you're at that point. What kind of car are you looking for? Are you looking for a sports car or whatever? So like, let's say obviously we're enthusiasts, so let's just say sports car. Are you looking for a coupe or a sedan?
Yeah.
Are you and then first, do you even know what kind of cars you like to drive? Do you like all-wheel drive? Do you like rear-wheel drive?
Do you like stiff as fuck suspension or nice, comfortable luxury shit?
Or, all-wheel drive or turbo or naturally aspirated or four-banger or V6. So, like, there's so much more that goes into it than, what's a good first car?
No, there's too much. There's too much to consider. Whenever someone DMs me, what car should I get? The first thing I ask is, how much money do you have? And is this the car you want to modify?
Yeah, that's before we even get deeper into that.
Before the modification,
I think because that's a whole different ball game. But let's start. Let's just say you know what you're looking for. Let's bounce off some ideas for coupe cars that are under 6K, and let's just throw them out and then talk about their specs. So you can, I think it will take too long to talk about, okay, all the front wheel drives, all the all-wheel drives, all the rear wheel drives. So like the first car you said was a Miata.
Miata's a good choice.
Rear wheel drive,
very
convertible
slow.
Too.
Convertible. I think all of them are.
I think when we're talking about this cheap, they're all soft top. But with the hard top option if you wanted to buy it.
If you can find it. The hard top is just as much as the Miata itself.
But you guys see that stuff everywhere, so that's probably a pretty obvious first choice. But it's a very good choice. They're reliable, they're cheap. The modding it is relatively cheap.
Oh, it's super cheap, dude. Danny fixed his car. He fixed his water pump for like $50. He went on Amazon and bought that shit.
Good on him. But you said Civic.
A Civic? Yeah, I see the Civic. They have a huge market for it.
You owned a Civic before the BRZ. I don't know if they know that.
My first car was a Civic. that my dad used to drive and the car that I learned on. Wait, what are you doing, man?
I'm just getting some clips for the vlog. You keep talking.
Get that shit out of my face.
Hey man, I'm just getting some clips for the vlog. Just keep chatting.
What other cars do we have in that price range? I honestly don't know.
I mean, it depends. I mean, you could get some crazy stuff with some high miles, but if you could, I've seen S2Ks go for 6K. That's a scary buy considering
That
how
is
many
a
miles
scary-
you'd be getting on that.
It's possible.
I would imagine some WRXs that you could get for that cheap. Mustangs you can get for
Oh,
cheap.
definitely a Mustang. That's for sure.
You could definitely do Mustangs. Again, that being, V6, but some V8s in that, depending on what spec you get, which would be a rear-wheel drive car, which is a Civics being front-wheel drive, obviously. But Mustang is a good option. And again, a large aftermarket industry, which if you're watching these videos, you're probably into the whole aftermarket scene. So that's always a good option to jump into.
People could also get like the sedans, like Accords. The Accord is huge. I mean, it's not. People love to VIP that stuff. I have several friends that are totally into low riding Accords that are comfortable and shit. You could definitely go that route if you're into that.
Speaking of E36 M3 or not M3, E36. Like I don't know the specs, 318 or 320. I don't know what it would be of that year, but sedan and coupe.
Yeah, those
BMWs.
are nice cars.
Our good friend Andrew has an E36 M3, and I fell in love with it when I was at H2O.
But be prepared to fix it.
Yeah, BMWs. That's an expensive fix.
That hurts.
And let alone they are bitches to work on. Anything that's like the luxury-esque of cars, I've learned that they just suck to work on, a.k.a. Kevin's Lexus. Fuck you, Kevin.
Fuck you, Kevin.
But,
Hashtag fuck Kevin.
Yeah, you talk about sedans, so that's what I was thinking about. I'm sure you can get some E46 era sedans. And
sports and comfortable ride. Definitely.
And also for the truck bros out there, I know we haven't really tapped into that yet on videos, but I'm sure you could get Tacomas and stuff of that sort for that price range.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Tacomas are good. Sam has a Tacoma. It's
and
nice.
he's modding it in his own way, which is cool. Which if you've seen through the vlogs,
he's building a sex cabin in the back.
He is doing a sex cabin, which is we've laid in it. It's nice.
It's nice.
It fits 3 comfortably.
There's a picture out there on Sam's phone of us cuddling.
Let's bump it up. Let's go to 10K. 10 to 12K.
10 to 12K.
There's a lot for 10 to 12K.
You could definitely do something.
First one, S2K.
S2K, that's a fun car. That's a fun car.
Yeah. At that point, you could arguably get an E46 M3. With high miles, you could do WRXs.
Oh, absolutely. You can get to WRX.
And this goes into like where you can start thinking about with that much money, what kind of engines you want. You know, if you wanted a 4-banger with a turbo, WRX. If you wanted naturally aspirated 4-banger, I bet you these days you could find a really fucked up FRS with a salvage title for 12K.
Oh, BS for Build does that on the regular. He
Yeah.
has like 3.
Yeah.
And usually it just ends up with like a fucked up front fender, and then you just put another one on.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about this. 350s. You can get I bought my 350 for just a little over 6K.
Yeah.
So 350 is a huge option, which I have grown to love that car so much. And if
It's
you're
a
looking for a
tank.
first car, that 350, if you just kind of know what you're looking at, dude, how many 350s did we look at together before I bought mine?
I looked with TJ for 3, but you tell me that you looked at like 8.
I looked at like 8 different 350s. Calvin came with a lot. I mean, it just goes when you see him online, you're like, oh, that looks kind of good. And you look at it, and there's
then you
like
go
just
over there
shit.
and you're just like, well, that has a flat tire.
Yeah, and it's like...
Remember that dealership, dude?
Yeah, we went to a dealership, and the car
guy.
wouldn't start. The tire was flat. There was cobwebs in the thing. Like, it was...
Shit was bunk.
It was so shit. And it was an 03 track package. It had the Brembos. It was blue. I remember that car like it was yesterday, and I wanted it so bad.
No,
Didn't
not
happen.
worth.
But that's a huge one. And also, if we're missing any, guys, feel free to leave them down below.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're definitely missing.
Help each other out in the comments. We definitely need, because we haven't looked into that. We just have a limited scope.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. And I always found that the comments in this channel, the podcast family is pretty. You guys are pretty cool, pretty chill. It's a very healthy environment down below.
Thanks,
so
people.
feel free to help each other out. You guys are all nice to each other, which is good. Emily just walked in. That scared the shit out of me.
That door almost pooped.
Wow. But yeah, 350 is a great option. So let's think. I mean, Nissan family. Oh, 240. What? See, look at that. For the cheap. You can get a 240 for super cheap.
But that's a sketchy buy.
I mean, you got to know what you're looking at, and you got to prepare for
Yeah.
shit to break because shit will break with a 240.
Absolutely.
It's old, and it's inevitable. It's gonna fuck itself up. But even in that 10 to 12K option, I mean, I had an E90 that you could get.
Oh.
It's a BMW.
I mean, I don't like that car. I personally don't like that one. So
Yeah, our friend Tyler has an E90.
He's
and
always fixing it.
breaking it. Yeah, and it's not him. It's just like shit's just getting old and it starts to break. But
Oh,
that's
yeah.
BMW. But like I said,
But
that's
if you
an
like that,
expensive fix.
it's definitely a good choice. It's like riding in Tyler's M3 or not M3. Well, he wants an M3.
He wants an M3.
Riding in his BMW, it's really nice. It's really comfortable. Versus something like the Miata or my BRZ. It's just BRZ is pretty comfortable. But versus those guys, if you're looking to just when you're driving 2 hours at a time, this is the car. That would be a nice car for you.
Road tripping in Calvin and Tyler's car is pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's a comfortable ride.
road tripping in the BRZ, my butt starts to hurt. I don't know about you, Teach, but our seats hurt my butt.
That actually triggers me a little bit because I don't really remember what it feels like to drive that car for that long because it's been so long. I don't remember it. I imagine, I'm sure after 2.5 hours, my ass always hurts, but
What else? What else do we go into?
I'm trying to think. So for 10 and 12K, I mean, I'm trying to think of like our friend stuff. I mean, Kevin has his IS. I'm trying to think
I don't
more
know
like
how much the IS is.
I mean, these days I'm sure you can get it for 12K, but I'm trying to think more of like of the sporty cars. I mean, I doubt you could do Camaros at this point. I mean, you can do an older Camaro, but not like the newer like 2010s and whatnot. Probably not. Well, you could do like the older ISs. That Zach wants one. IS 300.
Oh yeah, that's what Ryan. Do you remember Ryan Fong Pradith?
No.
No, never mind. He has one, I think. I don't know my Lexus is. Don't hose me.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Emily, we said that we didn't want anyone interrupting. these
Interrupts podcast.
Memes. You look cute today, babe. You want to join? Come in.
What would I say?
Wow.
I mean, you could talk about your car.
We got hosed on the last podcast for this. We don't have its third mic. You can't be in it. I'm not going to get hosed for it again.
All right.
They're like, if you're going to have people behind camera, give them a damn mic, bitch.
That's why we repeated what
I
they
was
were
like,
saying.
shit, sorry, it was not intentional. It just happened that way. I'm sorry.
I mean, you can talk about my car if you want, but you don't have a third mic.
Wow. Yeah, you could blame the fam for
Yeah,
that one.
fuck me, dude. Emily doesn't like me anymore, boys.
For that 12 to 10K, I need to like look at my phone and like look at my Instagram because I'm like trying to figure it out and I'm really struggling.
Yeah, no, I honestly don't look into cars. I don't look into purchasing cars.
I do it. I usually just like shop on stuff all the time. Like even though I'm not looking for cars, I just shop for cars because it's fun. We talked about E36s. Oh, not exotics.
No, not McLarens, Teach.
Yeah.
Not McLarens.
Saws. A bunch of Subarus at that price. Like I said, WRXs I think is a really, really good first starter car.
Yeah.
You see them everywhere. I think the Subi scene is huge, definitely in Southern California. But like Blob Eyes, the Hawkeyes, and they hold their value really well, which is a bummer
They're
for
nice
everyone who wants to
cars.
buy
Yeah,
one. They
they're
hold
nice
their
cars.
value extremely well, which sucks when
Couldn't
you're trying
you
to
get
buy
a
one.
Porsche? A Boxer? If you want.
Yeah, but they're shit though.
Are they shit? I don't know.
I've browsed before, but yeah, you can get a Porsche Boxster for really cheap these days. I mean, not for that much more. You can get a Cayman. I mean, that's like maybe a little less than 10K more, but you can get Caymans really, really, really cheap these days as well.
That would be a nice car. Modifying that, I don't know, but that's a nice car.
Well, PBM modified their Cayman to drift,
Hey, for sure.
which is
Good
pretty
on 'em.
cool. That one's always sitting out there, which
Not a GTR, Teach.
yeah. I've always wanted to drive their
A
Cayman
Koenigsegg?
PBM if you're listening. I'd like to drive it. God, I'm bummed because I feel like we're missing so many things. When I'm on the spot, I'm like, oh,
us,
fuck.
yeah. No, okay, so the next thing that I get DM'd on Instagram is the situation is they have a car. Let's say it's their Civic, right? And I always ask them, is this your forever car, quote unquote forever car? Because I highly advise against modifying your first car if it's not the car you want. Like, always better to save money for the car you want, and then get that and then modify it. Because I feel like it's just a waste of time and waste of money to modify the car that you have and you're not planning on keeping it. Even if the lowering springs or the coilovers are $500, $200. That's $500 less you have
on your next car.
On your next car.
That always sucks. That's always a weird, like... I think that's why a lot of people end up modding the really weird cars that aren't typically modded, because, I mean, I went through this same thing in a sense when I had my BMW, my E90.
I mean, that was a cool car, though.
It was, but I put so much money into it, and all I wanted was to make it faster. And everyone on the forums was like, if that's what you want, sell the car, get the 335. It's turboed. That's where the power is. You can't make this 328 a 335 with money. Like,
really?
You'd spend like $15K.
Yeah, ludicrous amounts of money.
So it's like when you have your car, you have to do your research and have a realistic idea of what's going to become of it, or you're going to achieve it. So, I mean, at that point, what I almost did a couple of times, I almost just stopped modding and ended up selling the car and waiting and saving a little more and then getting a 335, which in the time when you have your car, you're like, oh, I have it. I don't want to get rid of it. I can start modding it right now. It's the now factor that's stopping you, because you're like, oh, I can mod it now. And when you have the mod bug, we all know you're fucked.
Oh, absolutely.
You have a mod bug, you're not selling the car.
My favorite one is what my friend told me. The easiest bug to get someone into modifying cars and into cars, just tell them to buy HID lights. Tell them to buy HID lights and put it in themselves. They'll enjoy the process, and then it's instant gratification because you turn on your lights, it's fucking on, and it's pointed at the wall, and it's bright as fuck.
Yeah.
So I get that. I totally get that. As soon as you start modifying, it's like a fever that, oh, I could do this, and it keeps on going until you're fucking broke.
And that's what usually happens. It's like you get so hungry and you don't want to wait any longer, so you just start eating, meaning you start modding.
Yeah.
And that's what the case. I mean, that's the same thing with Tyler's. Let's talk about Tyler's car. Mm-hmm. Tyler wants an M3 desperately. Can he afford one right now? Yes, but he'd be really stretching for it, and he knows that. So he's, instead of just selling now and switching out, he's, modding every now and then to his 328 and just saving slower, so he has something now.
Fair enough.
And again, whatever, and I think you all go through it at one point. I think everybody has that one car that they end up modding and then look back on it like, fuck, I should have just sold it. I had fun with mine.
Not me, boy.
My 320, I had fun with it.
Not me, boy.
One car that we didn't talk on is like Volkswagen.
Your 320. Oh, we didn't talk about Volkswagen. That's also a good
I'm trying
buy.
to think of like brands and stuff. And I'm like, oh, Eli's GTI.
Yeah.
That's a.
How much was Dexter's? His was probably expensive.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too educated on GTI, so I don't want to speak like I know of them very well.
But if you were to go Volkswagen route, those are
Mark
good
Mark III and Mark IV and...
Don't know.
I don't really know. I'm not a Volkswagen guy, but...
Don't know, but that's another brand you could look into. I've seen really... They when that car has good fitment, it has good fitment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Even Mini Coopers is another option.
Oh, yeah.
Some Mini
Following
Coopers are
the steps of Marty.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Luke.
absolutely. No, I was trying to think of...
They're slow, though, but they're adorable cars. Remember, though, Mini Coopers are notorious for having poop transmissions. They will poop out on you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're notorious for bad transmissions. Emily's nodding her head. Not saying anything, so you guys can't hose us.
Really?
Yeah, they're notorious for bad transmissions. They shit themselves. They break.
I heard that when people bring in their transmissions, like that have Mini Coopers, it's either they have to keep fixing the transmission after it shit itself, or they just have to completely replace the transmission. It's like shit.
Okay. Well, I have a fun game for you, Calv. You have $7,000, and you have to buy a 2-door car, and I was gonna put a motor limitation on there, but you're looking for a rear wheel drive 2-door car for under $7K. What options are you gonna go with? What can you think that you can do?
I'd have to look that up. I don't know. What would you pick?
For $7K, I'm not going to do 350 because I already have one. I think I would go the almost basic route that everyone else does around this price range, and I would buy a 240. I'd look for like an S14 240 and aim low, and then use the extra $3,000 maybe I'd have left over for instead of used wheels and tires. And
oh, look at that. Mustangs are showing
model
up.
up that way. What is this car model? What are they saying?
So there's the Volvo 850
See, I don't even know anything about Volvos. Like, that's not my style at all.
GMC. Oh shit. Dodge Neon. That would be a nice one.
Neon.
That's a starter car in games, dude.
Yeah, SRT4 is what they're called or something like that.
SRT.
That's another thing. I have no experience with that car.
Oh, you could get an Impreza WRX.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. That's always a really good option.
Sure,
I think those are really underrated.
Oh, Mercedes Benz.
There's some Mercedes that you could do.
AMG? Dog. I mean, those cars are pretty old, though. Those are old. I've been in a couple, and they're pretty old. Oh, look, 300ZX. I would definitely. That's a top one up there. It's a bit expensive on the.
I've driven Keith's 300. It was pretty cool.
Oh, here it is. BMW M3 E36 7,000.
That's how much they are.
I would definitely do that. That one's nice. I would do that.
Damn.
What else? Oh, Corvette C4. My uncle has one.
God damn, we're missing out on a lot of stuff.
That's a nice dude. Fucking sweet, man. Camaros. That's pretty cool. I would, though I'd probably kill myself. I think I would go with the Corvette because they're just cool sports cars. They look nice. I like them.
Okay, well, let's raise the stakes to under 20K. I mean, at that point, anything's possible, I think.
If you have 20K budget, you could definitely go with a lot.
Damn. I mean, whoever starts at the 20K budget, though, as their first car.
Oh, if I had 20K, I would go cheap car, money on mods.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Not like super cheap.
Okay,
like
what car would you do then?
I mean, I think the 240 is cool. I've been having a fixation on 240s. But besides that, I think I would do... Oh, dude, I love my BRZ. So
Can't do the BRZ.
I know, I love it so much. So I think I would. How much are Jeeps? I like rock climbing. I think those are cool.
This is news to me.
I've been watching, like, after seeing... Emily's probably going to kill me after this. But after going to AutoCon and off-road shit popping up on my Instagram, I think it's really cool and fascinating watching shit climb shit. People just are powering through, like, dunes or something going up. Mm-hmm. I think that's really cool. I think I would love to have something like that in my garage. Something that drives like that.
What I heard about Jeeps is that once they go past like 100,000 miles, which is like 10 years old, if they're kept well, like they're still like they don't do great. They start to fail after that, and that's the only time that you can get a Jeep for under 20K.
Sure.
I was looking at like Forerunners and Pre-Runners and stuff. Remember, I showed you that one. I showed you this on Instagram not a while back, and it was like a sick Toyota 4Runner that was like just like climbing rocks and boulders, and that was something that I was thinking about doing. one of these next builds is doing something totally different and making an off-road car. And because we have Ocotillo Wells, which is a desert,
Jump
so you
off
don't
dunes
know,
in a fucking
like an hour and a
big
half
ass
from
truck.
here. And we've never done that before.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun.
And just gone mobbing with trucks and
Put a helmet on and hope we don't.
we don't know much about it, but it is something that would be pretty cool.
It'd be
to do
cool
at
to
some point.
learn. I would love, like, I have this huge thing that I love promoting whenever I talk to people. Like, I appreciate all types of cars. Like, I would like to have every archetype car, like Lolos, fucking off-road cars, dune buggies, drift missiles, like all of that. VIP. I would just like to have every genre of car possible. Like, what's that? An idiom? Shoot dream or something? Whatever it is. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
have no idea. Shoot dream?
It's like a
Shoot for this.
no. It's like a
Shoot for the moon, and if you miss it, hit the stars.
no. Never mind. But I love all these types of cars, and they all have different physics and mechanics and thought processes to go into making such a thing that I like most of them. Like some of them I personally don't like, but I'm not gonna shit on it because someone put work into it, you know? Thinking about it. That's why I have Air Ride. That was my first love, Air Ride. And I did it. So next maybe hydraulic bouncing cars. Teach.
Not for me.
That's dedication.
That's not for me.
Yeah, so that's fine. That's fine. But like, to answer your question, I would go with a Jeep that could climb shit.
My car,
Damn.
when I was valuing it to see if I could trade it in at some point, as of right now, it's a 2015, but as of right now, it's valued at $18K.
Wow, sure.
So it dropped a lot in value.
That's fine.
Right.
And that's built as an off-road car. So
Rip.
there's your option.
We're gonna get hosed. We're gonna get hosed for Rippery. No mic.
Rip.
Back
To the topic of what's a good first car. I think the easiest way to answer that for yourself is go drive some cars. I mean,
Yeah, you can definitely do
assuming that you have friends that have cars, or whether you're the first of your friends to get a car. I mean, everyone's situation is different, but find a way just to drive a bunch of different things. I think one of the things for me that helped me figure out what I like and what I know that I like is when I was doing a bunch of car reviews like a year ago, I drove a different car every weekend.
That's awesome.
From 800 horsepower Mustangs to tuned four bangers to crazy Miatas to awesome Subarus to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To everything, to exotics. And that was what really showed me
What you would like
for
to
me
drive.
personally, I like a car with an interior. I don't know why this is such a big thing for me.
No,
but if a car is like
absolutely,
ass
that
on the
makes sense.
interior, even if it looks old, or I don't even know what it is. Like I don't like it. Like I like a nice, modern looking. Like, cause that's what I'm touching on. I'm looking at it every day. I want it to look nice.
Yeah, technically, you're in that cabin, and that's all you see.
Yeah.
So if you like that being nice, then go for that.
Yeah. So that was
That's
one of the
also
weird
another
things
thing
that
to
I
consider.
learned about myself when I was driving a bunch of different cars. And obviously, my case will be different than yours, obviously. But that was something that I learned that I liked, and that was just by driving it. Well, I'm gonna start and stop that really quick.
You know what I want, TJ? What was that like rare car that you reviewed? That was, it was a Subaru. It was a Forester.
I know what it is. Hold on, ready? I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop it and then stop. You're thinking of the. It was a Subaru Forester STI,
That Forester.
and it hauled ass.
When I saw that, whatever that guy did to it, I want to copy it. Like,
Yeah.
I love the color. I loved like how it was presented, the racks and all that good stuff.
He did a
It's
good job.
car. I would do that. Fuck the Jeep. That's the one I want. Subaru.
But that was a street that wasn't meant to rock climb.
I know, but still, if I'd rather make that first than the rock climb.
Sure. I mean, see that the Forester that I did was pretty much was equivalent to the Macan. That was a modern day.
Macan?
Macan was a modern day Forester STI. That's why I was so obsessed with that car. I like cars that are big. I can fit shit in. It feels sporty, and it hauls ass. And more importantly, it looks cool.
That Forester.
The Forester STI to the Macan Turbo.
Sick.
Pretty much same size, way different in power, but that car was really cool. Man, I miss doing reviews. I haven't done them in so long.
Hey, don't tell them you're going to do it again because then you're going to get all these emails.
Yeah, I want to, but I don't have the time right now. I'm having too much fun doing other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why
got
everyone
a
asks
lot of
why I
shit
don't
to
do them.
finish,
I
too.
don't hate them. I'm having fun doing other things right now. Building and driving cars. That's more fun to me right now.
You almost forgot the middle memes.
I almost forgot the middle memes. One more time, guys, before we get closer to the end of the podcast, I want to say thank you again to our sponsors. Our sponsors help pay for this equipment and this lighting, and soon enough, it's going to help pay for us to get some legit sound deadening around this place. That shit's expensive.
I showed you that Walmart one.
Styrofoam stuff, that shit's expensive as fuck. As fuck.
You want to go to Walmart? I have to go to Home Depot. Not Home Depot. Harbor Freight today. I'll go after this.
But thank you, Tuna Crate.
Thank
Again,
you, Tuna Crate.
all links are always in the description. And I want to reiterate this down below. Feel free to have conversations with each other down below in the comment section about topics of what we're doing. And if you have certain questions about this type of stuff, again, I think people look at, Calvin and I as like these gurus, and we're no different than you guys. And all the time, you guys know more than us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the community. We're a collective brain. Teach.
Yeah. And also, too, I think this would be interesting, too. Leave comments down below of topics you guys want to see us do.
That's a good idea.
I want you guys to thumbs up the ones that you guys want to see, so we can see, oh, you guys want to do this. I think some of the topics we want to do coming up are conspiracy theories. I'm really into that shit, talking about like Bigfoot and aliens and all that type of stuff.
Avoid cars. We've been talking about cars too much.
Yeah, well, yeah. So we do a lot of. We won't talk about cars, but also want to do other things and do fun stuff as well. But one thing that I do want to do here coming up, which we wanted to do this weekend, it didn't work out, but I want to do the drunk podcast. That is something that I want to make happen.
That shit gets too many upvotes.
Drunk podcast. I think that's got to happen. I'm not just seeing drunk Calvin.
No.
It's
no.
It's a good
okay.
sight.
It's just whatever, dude. It's just Calvin being Calvin.
Dude, we're gonna have a lot of guests coming up in the next 2 weeks or so.
Are we?
I'm gonna try to get Adam to come down one of the days while he's here. Maybe at night we can film a podcast here.
Maybe
with Adam. Evan's coming back. B is for build. Chris really wants to jump in on a podcast. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
I really would like to do that. But I think we're nearing near the end of the podcast. Today was way shorter than normal. We're on a tight schedule today. If you're watching the vlogs, you'll see it.
Yeah, today's Sunday.
Today's Sunday. We're filming this like hours before you guys are seeing it. And we apologize, but we had so much stuff this week that it kind of almost, we remembered it, but so that's why it might be a little bit shorter today. But as long as it's as good as first cars, I mean, the answer that I think is crucial when everyone misses is you need to figure out what you want.
Yeah.
That will narrow it down from the thousands to the 10 or 5. And at that point, it's like what's around you, how is your insurance going to react to it? Because I think that's a big thing, too. Once you buy the car, okay, cool, but you're also paying for gas. How much gas will you assume? How much will your insurance, blow up on it? Yeah. So figure out what you like. Want to stand?
How many problems you want.
Yeah, how many problems you want. Do your research on, reliability. Do your research on, what kind of motors are in it, and figure out what you like. Ask around. Google is your best friend right now.
Yeah, don't ask us because we don't know shit. The forums for whatever specific car you want has way more information than either TJ and I can shit out.
Yeah, I spent like a month on the forums before I bought my BMW. I lived on the BMW forums. That's how I learned most everything about my BMW was just reading through forums, and it was the best thing ever. I just do it in class. I used to do it all the time. That was my shit. I loved it.
Teach.
I loved it.
Research.
Yeah, that's your best friend at this point. And again, you guys talk about it down below. I'm sure you guys will think of way more stuff than we will.
Throw out some cars. I'm interested to look up those cars.
Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll pick one up and start building it for the channel if it's a good enough car. That'd be pretty cool. Thank you, bros, so much for watching this podcast.
Thank you so much.
We podcast every Sunday, so be sure to come back for it. And if not already, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you're always up to date.
Hit the notification bell
Turn on the
if you like our
notifications.
memes enough. If not, then fuck me.
Bye, guys.